Hello, this is Daniel Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide. Sometimes it's a difficult decision when to cover a new feature set. Obviously, it primarily has to be out of NDA, but beyond that, there's the question of the degree to which it is functioning properly. In other words, if there is something broken now, which is likely to be fixed before live or in a 3.23.x release, do you treat it as a feature or not? What I'm going to do is to treat the features if they are likely to be fixed in the 3.23 branch to be working, but with a disclaimer if they are not working now. And then, as I usually do, I'll make suggestions as I go along about features I think would be useful to add. And this caused me to think about the boundaries between what should be in the Mobiglas versus what should be on one of the many various kiosks in the game or with diegetic interaction with the items themselves. So, for example, in 3.23, they have introduced a new shopping interface where we can go to the store and interact with the items on the shelves and buy them, or if we're doing more, just use the in-store kiosk. But wouldn't we really just use the Kelto page hosted at spaceson.com to order it and have it delivered to our inventory moments later via Hanger Dash? Well, we pretty much do that all the time already. The answer is, and this is a really odd thing to say, that CIG, and I agree, do not want our futuristic starfaring world to be as dull as our current life. They want us to have to walk around and interact with the world, even if that is actually regressive from a technological progress perspective. So there were a lot of things I thought could be added to the Mobiglas that I deliberately dropped, including spaceson.com. In the era of Wing Commander games, if you were able to instantly buy things from your handheld device, that would have been visionary. Now it's meh. So let's dig into the main page of the 3.23 Mobiglas. Each time you open the Mobiglas with the F1 key, you're taken to the home page. Now, one thing that you may not be obvious is that each panel on the home page corresponds to one of the detail pages. And the home page panel has an arrow button that takes you to that detail page, just as if you had clicked on the appropriate footer button. However, not all the bottom buttons are available on the home page, and the health detail page is linked twice. So here is my first suggestion for the future. Combine the health and environment panels into one in order to make space for other detail pages to have their summaries on the home page too. And I would suggest a mini version of the chat window that linked to the comms page and a more prominent display of your current UEC balance that links to the money page. Where the current logo and small font of your balance is, I would put a place where you could see the most recent system messages, and for those that require accept decline, a way of doing so from within the Mobiglas. Again, that is a wish list item. So let's dig into the panels on the home screen from the upper left. This panel shows your currently tracked mission and the active steps in it. This then links to the contacts page. The major difference in the contacts page is that it has changed from a 3-column to a 2-column format, and the category and description combined in an expandable indented list, and the previous general private buttons being replaced with a verified and unverified toggle. I'm not sure what is the reason for that change of terminology, but it is interesting. The second area of the home screen is this list of recent notifications. This links to the journal page, which is not particularly different other than style changes for improved readability. The final panel on the left column of the home page is Law, which shows your current jurisdiction, if any, and your current status with them. This links to the new Reputation page, which also shows improved readability, and a search bar, which indicates that there may be quite a number of factions in the future when you include the CDF, each of the Stanton planets, each of the Pyro gangs, and other commercial factions. Moving to the middle column of the home screen, you have Vehicles. And initially, it will say, please connect to your ship, which you might presume to mean to have to board your ship and get close to it. That isn't the case. It means to use the list of vehicles that will drop down and pick the ship from the list of vehicles that are at your location, just like the not yet replaced Vehicle Loadout Manager. Now, as you see, there are places for the ammunition and fuel percentages, and I wish there were 2 more. The first I would wish is the home screen would be able to show the state of the timer, if there's a claim or impound timer, and when we get cargo loading timers, the state of the cargo loading timer. It would also be nice to be able to purchase expediting the timer from this page. Now this has 2 links. The flag pin takes you to where the ship is on the map. The link takes you to the Legacy Vehicle Loadout Manager. And part of the reason why I think that they haven't included the new version of the VLM is that the distribution of features is going to change. We are going to be having vehicle kiosks in the hangars in the later 3.32.x version, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of the features of the VLM get moved to that kiosk. My clue as to why is that in the Squadron 42 vertical slice, Mark Hamill's Old Man character is setting up his loadout at a terminal and encourages you to do so as well.
I'm almost done here, kid. Just a few last tweaks. Hey, now that we've had a skirmish with the OMC and you've seen how they fly, you might want to make a few adjustments of your own.
I know that footage is old, but it's expensive to have Mark Hamill come back in for a reshoot just to have him be doing it on his Mobiglas. So I suspect that the old footage is still the way it is going to be in Squadron, and thus also the way Star Citizen is going to become. The bottom third of the center column of the home screen is your current environment, which links to the health page. And then the entire right column of the home page also links to the health page, as it shows your current actor status. Now let's look at the footer items that are not linked to any of the areas on the home page. Working in reverse order from the right, we have the landing page, which is the old Cryastro page, but with better readability. Honestly, though, if we are moving Loadout Manager to the hangar terminal, why not also merge these features in with the vehicle app, or even more so, put these features on the hangar terminal as well? Wallet is the old money transfer app, and again, it seems quite minimal in its features. Now, I'm not sure if the Mobi is the right place for it, but what is really needed to make Star Citizen a full MMO is a secure trading app. If you've ever played an MMO, you've seen some version of this. You drag what you are offering from your inventory or treasury into the middle. They drag what they are offering into the middle. And when you're both satisfied, you press the OK button, which freezes the transaction and starts a short countdown timer, during which either side can cancel, and then, if they don't, completes the deal. This might be easier implemented as a knockoff of the inventory feature, but either way, it's needed. The assets is the re-implementation of the old Knickknacks app, and again, the primary differences are better visual design. Some suggestions I might make are to have a compact option for the list, since these lists will eventually get quite long, and also possibly a tiled option for the list, since those can also sometimes be more friendly. So finally, we get to the biggest part of the new Mobiglas, and that is the new map system. Now, from a user interface standpoint, there are actually two map systems depending on the level you are at. Let's call the lower level the facility map, and it is active when you are looking at a facility that you're in, including the ship you're in. This is an orthographic 3D translucent surface projection that you can rotate by holding down the left mouse button and moving your mouse, and you can shift by holding down the right mouse button while moving your mouse. In many, but not all locations, you will have a directory on the left-hand side, and clicking on that directory will take you to the selected location. In facility mode, there are 4 commands in the lower right. Cross-section view, Z, toggles the view panes to show you your current floor or to show you the entire facility. X, for go to the player, is self-explanatory. The place pin T and the set route R key have been behaving erratically for me, but have been improving. First, you need to have your mouse already at the appropriate location. When at a selectable location, you will see a glowing circle on the floor. If you don't already see this glowing circle, the pin and route commands will not work. If you then press the T key, you will get a dialog to name the location where your mouse was at. If you press the R key, it will route you to the location where your mouse was at. As of the current build, the routing does not seem to know how to take elevators or trams, so that limits its utility. But the main thing to note to reduce your frustration is that the sequence is position the mouse, see the circle, press key, and not press the key, click the location. You switch automatically from facility mode to space mode just by scrolling with the mouse wheel. The action keys switch to go to selection, go to player, and step back, which are self-explanatory. You can click on markers to select them, but perhaps the more valuable feature is the search ability, which you can just type in the name of the place you want to go and then select from the list. Then if you are in a ship and if you are in a location where you can enter quantum, selecting the route button will calculate the necessary quantum jumps to reach the destination. then I would say you would use your quantum drive to jump just as you did, but you don't. They have implemented their announced change to switch Engage Quantum Drive to the long left mouse button press. So if you have spent years holding down the B key to jump, you will wind up just turning off your quantum drive. I've already done that so many times and will likely do so many more times until I get my muscle memory fully reprogrammed. And that completes our tour of the new Mobiglas. Except for the 2 pages that are still just hosting legacy screens, everything is easier to read, and the new star map is way less frustrating than the old one, even when still having occasional burps. Now for an update on our giveaways, we have the special See You at CitizenCon promotion to help defray the travel costs of live coverage at CitizenCon with a special membership level and extra rewards, and its own drawing for the Colossal Cargo Container Carrying Craft, the Hull Seat. Plus, we have our regular Grow the Channel ship giveaways for the Zippy Zazzy Zaftig Zephyr, the Zeus 2 Cargo, and the marvelous multiplayer multi-role mining meta, the Arasta. 1 entry per video. Members, at any level, you are entered automatically, and everyone else just subscribe and comment with the secret word. And the secret word for this video is the future website that I consider to be added to the Mobiglas, but decided against. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Danny Raymond for Ray's Guide.